Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Air Season 2, Episode 5, Marvel Phase 3, Part 2. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at / We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We are Error.
Alright, Spider-Man Homecoming release date July 7th, 2017. Director John Watts. Thrilled by his experience with the Avengers, young Peter Parker returns home to live with his Aunt May. Under the watchful eye of its mentor, Tony Stark, Peter starts to embrace his newfound identity as Spider-Man. He also tries to return to his normal daily routine, distracted by thoughts of proving himself to be more than just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Peter must soon put his powers to the test when the evil Vulture emerges to threaten everything that he holds dear. Budget, $175 million. Box office, $880.2 million. How do we feel about Spider-Man
Great
Homecoming?
fucking movie. Loved it.
Best theatrical outing as Spider-Man. Most true to the comics, I think.
I would say it's good, but I still think Spider-Man 2 is the best of all the Spider-Man. I really like this movie a lot, but Spider-Man 2 is fucking perfection.
You're such a
Really
fanboy.
good. It's really good.
I am. I'm not going to lie. That movie for me, not only Sam Raimi, fanboy, I'll give you that.
I love Sam Raimi.
But on top of that, I feel like it is almost flawless superhero movie.
Spider-Man 2 a lot.
So good.
We've talked about this.
Yes.
But I truly believe that this Peter Parker is a more accurate representation of the comic books Peter Parker.
I agree with you 100%.
So that's why I say it's the best Spider-Man outing.
For me, the storyline, overarching storyline in the original Spider-Man trilogy is the Peter Parker I remember from the comic books. That is him. This version of Peter Parker, I like better.
Keaton in this movie
Michael
was
Keaton.
the fucking
Michael
shit.
Keaton stole it.
He's everything.
So good.
He was like Affleck in Phantoms. He was just the bomb.
The bomb.
He was Batman and Birdman again.
So good.
Yep.
I agree.
All right.
And you didn't get that with Melina in part 2.
Melina with part 2, that is not Dr. Octopus, that is the complete inverse of what the comic book version of that character is. But at the same time, I like that version of him, where he is a mentor who is deranged by his turn to becoming a villain. I like that. And he buys himself back at the end, where he sacrifices himself to save Peter Parker.
Okay.
There's a redemption arc. Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker is
42.
not great. But at the same time, that is closer to the version of Peter Parker I know.
No, man, he doesn't even talk shit whenever he's fighting villains.
Peter
like
Parker, I said. I didn't say Spider-Man. Spider-Man, this is
You
Spider-Man.
fucking asshole. What a fucking cop-out that is.
This is Spider-Man.
Peter Parker is not 42 years old either. This kid is Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
No, Tom Holland is amazing.
Yeah.
And the way that they worked around not being able to do the thought bubbles, because Peter Parker's a shit talker. 100% shit talker. That's the only thing I liked from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, is that he was a bit of a shit talker. Didn't like him, weren't great. This version, he's a nerd. When he puts on the suit, he becomes a super fucking...
He knows he's got the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But he knows that he can't do it outside of the outfit.
And that whole story arc through the movie is, if you need the suit, and Tony Stark experienced that in Iron Man 3.
It's like, if you need the suit to be something, and you're nothing without it, you don't
need the suit. And it replays that story arc. He had to learn that as an adult. He's teaching that to him as a kid. And the dynamic of Tony Stark being the father figure, the surrogate father, Uncle Ben would have been, he's taking the place of that.
Right.
And Peter Parker, once again, being his kid in a way. But that whole surrogate father situation, where he literally says, man, I sound like my father. Or is like, how do I talk to a teen? All those things. He knows that he's becoming that towards him. And Peter Parker respects him and idolizes him. To the point that we talked about before. The connection between Iron Man 2, where he's wearing the mask and he's saved by him. He's like, great shot, kid. He wanted to be him. And the fact that he gets the chance he never thought he would get. He's just a kid from Queens.
Yep.
Were you from Javi?
I'm from Queens, for Rockaway.
Okay, well...
You're our Spider-Man.
Finger guns right at you.
I mean, ethically
kid from
ambiguous Spider-Man.
What would you do if you were a kid from Queens and became Spider-Man?
Dude.
Everything.
Come on, hi, Javi, tell us.
You know what I'd do? 2 chicks at the same
Oh,
time.
fucking
Wait, would I be 14?
Get them up in the spinnerets.
Would I be 14?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll get all up in the spinnerets.
All right. What difference does it make?
God, is he only 14?
Is he only 14?
I think so.
Uh,
He's in high school.
I don't know. All I know is that girl who plays Michael Keaton's daughter, Liz, is like 28. I felt so much better because I was like, am I perving this kid? And I was like, oh, she's in her 20s. I was like, all right.
Right.
She's got a great mouth, though.
Oh, God.
What did you call it? Like, she's got a set of, like, pluckers on her. Or
Oh, my God. She got them sucker puckers, good sir. She got, you know, they go down, and you're just like, oh, get the balls,
Yeah.
get the balls.
It's like those fish that clean your tank.
Oh, yeah. She got the algae eaters on her.
That's right.
Oh, get every inch, get every centimeter, bitch. Oh, amazing. All right, this
Clean
time.
this tank.
All right, so he's so good in the movie. This is what I think. The whole time I was watching it, and the first time I was watching it, I was like, he is channeling Marty McFly in every way since he's doing the puberty voice every once in a while that's kicking in. All that. Like, come on, Doc. You know, all that. And he's charismatic like that, too, where you know he doesn't have the ability to do the things he needs to do, but you believe he can do them if he pushes himself, which eventually happens towards the end of the movie, where he has to literally lift the whole thing, and then he's like, come on, Spider-Man,
Which is one of the most quintessential scenes in any Spider-Man comic ever also, where he has to do that, and I think they did a great job paying homage to that scene also in that whole sense. You bought that he is like, come on, you gotta do it.
Yeah,
like,
he always, his powers are never to where he thinks it should be, but he's so much more powerful.
And I think his homemade suit is fucking dope also.
Oh, yeah.
What I loved about the Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, it really showed you, like, just how much of a kid he is. Because when he's doing that "Come on, Spider-Man" thing, you hear the fucking panic in his voice. He is scared shit. Like,
that's what I'm saying. He's just
and he's
a
like
kid.
panicking, just like a fucking kid would.
Yeah.
He's just a kid. And that whole thing with this movie showing the life of a teenager, an outsider, an outcast teenager who just wants to date the popular girl.
Which is why it holds more clout whenever it comes to Infinity War, whenever we see his demise.
Yeah.
And we feel Tony Stark's pain because obviously they're building to that in this.
And showing that relationship. Let's talk about using the Vulture in correlation to the rest of the movies, taking the Chitauri fucking tech and creating the suit.
Amazing.
That carryover is so good. And they screwed up whenever they said the timeline, too.
Yeah.
I think they said 8 years later or 10 years later. They fucked it up. They're just like, at the end of it, they're just like, well, we fucked it up. Who cares? But having the villain being connected to the massive event in the Avengers, I thought was a genius move.
Well, they're playing Damage Crew from the comics or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, that is a great fucking call out also to the true fans of the comic. Like, oh shit, Damage Crew! And then the incorporation, obviously, of the aftermath of the events. Obviously, somebody does have to be there to clean that shit up after everything.
Right.
Yeah, like, what a great tie-in.
And to steal that tech and create the outfit.
Do you remember when we first saw Shazam, man, and we said, oh, that's the villain. And you said about the villain after the car accident, and that's why I'm rooting for him.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt like after that first scene with the Vulture, I was like, you know, I could kind of see why he did what he did.
Right.
Right.
He was
He's a
protecting
man-
his
He got
family.
fucked over.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck you
He's
guys.
a man trying to make a living and take care of his family, essentially.
He's just trying to protect his family.
Yeah.
The only time he kills is when he doesn't kill out of malice or anything like that. If somebody goes
killed
against his
when they
family,
fucked up.
yeah,
That fucking scene whenever he drops him off at the prom.
right.
And he tells Peter, sit there.
so good,
And he's like,
so good,
And he's like, I'll kill you.
yeah.
Like, not even flinching. It's so goddamn
That
good.
whole
He's
scene
like,
though, where like the tension that is built because Peter's like nervous.
He's
like,
putting it together. You see him doing
Yes.
it as he's looking in the mirror.
Yes.
Yeah, and,
And
you're
as-
like, oh,
as I'm
shit.
watching
and
it-
even Peter's seeing him put it together.
as I'm watching it in the theaters, I'm like, this is some of the
Oh,
best
yeah.
shit I've ever seen. Where
Yeah.
he's like, oh, you were there? No, I wasn't there. No, you were there. I was like,
Yeah.
what's going on? What the fuck's going
I
on?
also
That's
really
such a
like-
good build.
Yeah.
There were so many villains I noticed in Phase 3 where they made a lot of sense to the viewer. Just like Killmonger made a lot of sense.
We'll
But
get
with
there.
Vulture, I could also see where he's coming from, too. Same thing with fucking Daniel Bruce's character,
Well, that's-
Zemo.
I think that's what makes a great villain, though, is that they have some bit of humanity to them, where
Yeah.
you can, in the right concept, you can see how they
Like,
could be
where you
right,
kind
or
of
you
get
can
why they're fucking
right, you
the way
can
that they
justify in your mind and still like that character. It humanizes them, just like
Yeah.
Thanos.
How about that twist though? Whenever he shows up at the door, did you guys put together that was going to be his daughter he was taking to the
Fuck.
prom?
No.
You know, in hindsight,
I did.
yeah, I was gonna say in
I did.
hindsight, like I was like, whenever he shows up, and I was like, watch, it's gonna be her fucking dad
Right.
is gonna be fucking Vulture, and then lo and behold, it's like, but it was still one of those
It was
things
such a
where
good play.
it was a collective gasp in the audience, like
It was such a good fucking
But
play.
I mean, I think for the most part, I knew that it was coming.
I'll be honest with you. I think it played on, I guess,
people's perceptions. Yeah, exactly.
Stereotypes.
Yeah,
it did, and I thought that.
I think that was
genius.
a great twist. Also,
I thought that was genius that they did that.
Like, oh my god, he's got a black daughter.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking so good that they did.
They're
that.
like, oh, it's 2018, motherfuckers.
Yeah, deal with it, bitches.
I remember I saw that in theaters, and my friend Meg took me. And as soon as it was like going up, she automatically turned to me. I was like, "Oh, great, it's fucking Michael Keaton." Thanks a lot, Meg. So I kind of knew what was going to happen.
Did you tell her to shut up, Meg?
I have told her to shut up, Meg, countless times.
Okay, but what about that time that she ruined it for you?
I was in the theater. I was like all up in that movie's guts.
So you know, oh god.
So I want to say one of my other favorite things about this: Spider-Man has a fear of heights. That made me so fucking happy because playing the video games where you get to play as Spider-Man. I remember sometimes sitting on the edge of like those buildings in that game and being like, "Oh, I'm getting a little bit of vertigo right now." And the fact that he's climbing the Washington Monument, he's like, "That's a little high."
Yeah.
That made me happy. Like that.
He's not afraid of heights.
And I remember 10 years ago thinking, what would Spider-Man? I literally wrote it down. I was like, what would Spider-Man do if he was stuck in the country? And this movie shows that. When he can't swing off of high buildings, he's out in the suburb.
He's running through the
exactly,
and he's yards. Yeah,
exactly. I was like, that's so cool that they did this. That's so fucking good.
Yeah.
This movie is a callback to the John Hughes movies in the 80s. Very much.
Yes,
everything
very
it does.
Much so. Fucking hits all the beats of one of those fucking
exactly, and it pays homage to the idea of being in high school. And I did not go to a inner city school with thousands of students. I went to a small school. This is one of the best.
Neither did any character in a John Hughes movie.
Okay, but this is a great fucking representation of what it's like to be in school. I think. Yeah. I think that is a school they show. That is a legit school, and I feel like this is the first time I've ever seen in a movie where I was like, yeah, that's what it's kind of like to be in high school.
I like how they made Flash the cyber bully now.
Like yeah, it was a little bit weird that they took the character that way.
They fit it to the times, though, you know?
Right.
Like,
he would age with the times where he would just be the rich kid.
Right.
Whose daddy has everything, and he could be a bully. And obviously, Peter Parker's way better than him, but because of his social status, he's way better than him.
Exactly.
I don't like the fact that Zero Mustafa was an asshole.
Zero Mustafa. Oh, fucking, yeah, goddamn. Grand Budapest Hotel.
Who's that?
You never seen it?
No.
It's the most Wes Anderson movie of all.
I refuse to watch Wes Anderson movies.
What? Mm-hmm. Fuck you.
I'm just kidding.
Doug, my smile will vanish from my face.
God damn, dude. Like, we were both like about to jump on you like a pack of wild
I saw that. No, I love Wes Anderson.
You need to watch Isle of Dogs.
I loved Isle of Dogs.
Okay.
Oh, it was good. Yeah. But I like the Fantastic Mr. Foxy and Fox.
Is the shit.
So
That's
good.
top 3 Wes Anderson movies.
Definitely. The theme. The Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Opening.
Why didn't you just use that theme the whole time? And they took it and they said, the guy who did the Incredibles theme, he went, fuck it, we're just going to use it. And he used it and he mixed it with the Avengers theme, which is even better. And he made that brass sound so good.
There's like a double fucking reference there because they used the Ramones in it. Blitzkrieg Bop. Hey,
for Rockaway Punk Band.
But,
Queens.
Yes, and also, they're very famous for doing a version of the Spider-Man theme song.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yes, they are. So, I'm thinking maybe in Spider-Man Far From Home, they might use it. But I know that was a very subtle reference there because they are from Queens, and they do a fucking Spider-Man theme. So, it's fucking...
That's pretty fucking cool.
The casting of Donald Glover, too, as...
Aaron Lewis.
As Aaron Lewis.
Yeah.
Do you know that the whole thing with... there is a connection with him and Mark Bernardin, who had said Miles Morales. This is when the character first came out. He kept saying Donald Glover.
Donald Glover petitioned for it for a long time to be Spider-Man.
That was the connection that was made there, where they went, we're going to do it, but you've aged out of that role, so we're going to we're going to let you be the Uncle the Prowler. Basically.
First of all, hold on. Why can't they just do this? Like, it's all about, like, time jumps and fucking interdimensions. Why can't he just be Miles Morales from a different dimension?
They're not going to do that, because he's already the Prowler. And also,
they don't have him confronted him as a Prowler.
But
yes, he is.
He's the Prowler. He's Aaron Lewis.
Homecoming.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Homecoming.
He's Miles Morales' uncle. But on top of that, they're going to make the character even bigger. He's supposed to have a huge role in Black Panther 2 as that character.
But didn't they kill him off? Wait,
no, that's a completely different thing, my friend.
Yes.
The only other thing I want to say is if Michael Keaton would have turned down the Vulture, we would have got Mark Hamill. How do we feel about Mark Hamill?
I'm okay with Keaton.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I love Mark Hamill, But I think that would be a great runner-up.
Possibly
honestly.
the best Batman versus the best Joker of all time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I got one more for you. Who would have played Uncle Ben if they would have shown a flashback scene in this movie? They talked to this guy, Steve Buscemi.
Whoa!
Fucking crazy,
that
dude.
would have been fucking awesome.
Can you imagine Steve Buscemi as Uncle Ben?
Yeah.
I could see it. That would be fucking badass.
Peter, you know what I mean? It's like,
Shut the fuck
But
up.
he's from New York. I mean,
Shut the
that
fuck up,
makes sense.
Benny.
That makes sense that they would cast him.
Yeah.
He's a New Yorker. I mean, so that would actually be pretty cool. And maybe there's nothing to say we won't see him. I think there's a chance we'll see Uncle Ben in Spider-Man 2. I really do. What is Homecoming 2? Far From Home. That's what it is.
I can see that maybe like Mysterio drags it up in him somehow.
I have
in
a
the
theory.
flashback?
I have a theory that maybe even Mysterio could be Jake Gyllenhaal, could be Uncle Ben, and my theory is maybe we don't see him.
You just want to see him fuck Marissa Tomei.
No, I'm okay with that too. I want to see him want to fuck her because that'd be sweet. Because
It'd
I would
be Marissa
jerk off
Tomei
watching.
fucking him.
Yeah. Oh my god, she's vicious. But for me,
Goddamn, Doug, you just went bitch for no reason.
no, that was a good fucking pull. He broke back Mountain that shit. That was awesome. She spits in her hand and goes in. I had to think about it. I was like, I don't want to see that, but I kind of want to see it. But for me, what if that whole thing, that Far From Home, where he's like, "Get out of here, I got this," is maybe he never shows his face until a certain point where he takes off his mask and he's like, "Uncle Ben, is that you?" Maybe that could be a cool interaction. And then once again, that's a disguise.
You think you're going to have to add a lot of story about
Once
what
again,
happened
they
to
won't do that.
Uncle Ben and how he ended up in fucking Europe, and then it just became Mysterio. He wasn't gunned down by criminals.
Well,
Like that's a
This is
lot of
gonna be the
shit you're
story
going to have to
arc.
fucking explain.
He's gonna be a hero that tricks everybody, including Spider-Man. That I'm
Exactly.
here, but
Yes.
end of the fucking movie, I'm a villain. You just got Mysterio.
That's why I don't
and
get
I'm
to
Uncle
make
Ben.
That's why I don't get to make movies.
I think he's Uncle Ben's rice. Guy. I think it's him, and this is all a plot to sell rice. Honestly.
Fuck Zatarain. Give Uncle Ben's a minute, Rice.
Yeah.
Well, we should mention this. Once
Fuck
again,
San Francisco treat.
yes, they're Tony Stark and Peter Parker's relationship in this movie. It is a surrogate father relationship,
Yeah.
and it works, and it builds towards something
Okay.
even greater.
So his interaction with him, he feels like he has to guide him. He feels this need to do this because of him asking him to do something that he shouldn't have in Civil War. Whenever he's supposed to be against these superheroes using their powers, anyways,
Yeah.
so he's already conflicted there. But
Right.
he has to bring him on. He's asking a young boy to come fight fucking Captain
Oh,
America.
you know what? It's a different relationship now. It's one of those. Come here,
Yeah,
come over
yeah.
here.
Also, I really like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. He dresses up like him. He fucking does the moves like him.
I also do like the inverse that Tony Stark is essentially still dealing with a younger version of himself.
Dude, what?
I'm sorry. It's so good. Come here, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
It's in your fucking name, Peter.
Come here, little Peter.
Oh, smile. Come here, Peter. Oh, that's creepy. Sorry, go ahead, on.
No, it's alright.
He dressed up as the little Iron Man in the fucking.
my God. Oh, you look so good, little Peter.
Yeah. I'm gonna teach you to choreograph all my dances.
Oh God, that's
And then I'm
fucking.
gonna fuck you.
Javi, do the puke noise, please. But no, it truly is. He cares about this kid. Not that way, but he cares about this kid, and he really does want to take care of him. And he wants him to do the right thing, and he takes that role. And even he realizes that's what's happening. He can't stop that train from going, And it's just, it works. I mean, there's a building, there's a mutual respect, and Peter knows, like I said before, he's just a kid from Queens. He doesn't think that he has a chance to do anything. He wants to prove himself so bad, but he's just not ready yet.
He knows what it's like not to have parents.
Right. Oh, yeah, dude. There's so many parallels to their story. Like, he's learning at a younger age his lesson. That's what I would love for...
Right.
Like,
he's total mentor.
if they wouldn't... The taking that and making that the Batman-Robin relationship of the orphans and doing it better than DC has ever done it on film really fucking works.
Once again, Kevin Feige, brilliant, knowing a way to mold these stories into something that's still relative to the comics, but also presents something completely new and welcomed by fans of the comics.
I have no idea how this would work in movie form. I didn't think it would work, and now it's one of my favorite relationships in that series.
Oh, yeah.
And seeing that and hopefully the passing of the mantle at the end of this next movie that'll come out. So,
yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add about Spider-Man before we take this shot?
Best Spider-Man ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Best Spider-Man.
Better than Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Different.
Yes, much better.
I'm with you on that. Different. I think that they're both great.
I really like Into the Spider-Verse.
I did say much better, but I will say different better. But Into the Spider-Verse was its own thing, and I really liked it a lot. There was a lot more that I wish they would have explored. Yeah. But I really, just everything about it from top to bottom, the script, the characters, the casting,
the
writing, just all
Aunt
of it. It's the most solid Spider-Man movie for me.
Well, I know for me, Spider-Verse is like top billing. It's because of just the amount of heart in that movie. You know me, I'm a sucker and I'm a sap, and I love that soft shit.
Same thing here, though, too.
And you're also an artist and you like animation.
I do.
Huge fan. All right, ready? Thor Ragnarok. Release date, November 3rd, 2017. Director, Taika Waititi. Imprisoned on the other side of the universe, the mighty Thor finds himself in a deadly gladiatorial contest that pits him against his former ally and fellow Avenger. Thor's quest for survival leads him in a race against time to prevent the all-powerful Hela from destroying his homeworld and the Asgardian civilization. Budget, $180 million. Oh, yeah. Box office, $854 million. Yes, she fucking is. Dude, you guys are right. She is fine. You saw, what did you say, you saw this movie in theaters?
Yeah, me, Jake, Rachel, and Trent.
Fuck yeah. What did you guys think?
Fucking great.
Thor Ragnarok.
I played this trailer on a loop. You were there. Like, as soon as this fucking trailer came out, I played it on a loop until the fucking movie came out.
Right.
And I was so pumped every fucking time. I knew this movie was going to be the fucking shit just for watching that. The moment that they fucking included, they got the lead up. They got the fucking lead up. They got Led Zeppelin. And at that moment, I knew, like, this is going to be way better than everything else. The whole scene with him fucking going, yeah! And the whole busting out. It's like, yes. This movie is going to this movie is going to be the shit.
You know that line that he's a friend from work that was suggested by like a Make-A-Wish kid?
That was on the set that day.
Yeah.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were just like, say it's a friend from work. That is one of my favorite lines in the movie. But this movie has so many good fucking lines because it is hysterical.
Damn. This movie is so good.
You're embarrassing me in front of...
Yeah.
This, number one, you let fucking Jeff Goldblum out the whole fucking movie.
You gotta get back to Ass Place or Asperg or whatever.
Dude, so fucking good. The fact that Thor has a huge sense of humor, and later on it was found out that the reason why Chris Hemsworth wanted to do this with the character is Kevin Smith had said that the character was boring on a podcast. He goes, he's just so rigid and this and that. And after seeing him in Ghostbusters, he was blowing him up. He's like, this guy's fucking hilarious. Why isn't he doing that? He went back and he's like, yeah, we're going to make this one funny. And that's why they did that.
That's awesome. That's fucking great.
Greatest pivot.
Oh, my God.
And Kevin Smith had a huge effect on that.
Love you, Kevin.
Yeah, and also, now he got Chris Hemsworth to be in Jane Silent Bob reboot. He does a cameo in it. So.
Oh, my God. And also, he got Justin Longback playing Jason St. Randy from Zack and Mary. He's going to be in it. Yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be so good.
So fucking
more like Glenn and Gary suck Ross's mini cock.
So back. This sucked the cork.
This sucked the cork out of what?
This sucked the cock of Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. What is it about this movie that works?
Everything.
From the get-go.
Yes. This movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's top 5, but it's probably top 5.
It's like my top 5.
Top 5 for me, too. Just like that breaking of the fourth wall instantly. So I also plays on how I got here.
Yeah, he's talking to the skeleton, and the thing falls off. And the hammer, how they follow it in the beginning of the scene where they're playing the Led Zeppelin song, and the hammer's swinging around, and then you have hammer
just
view.
Whenever the fucking Led Zeppelin song starts, you know, like, oh, this is going to be so fucking dope.
So the whole movie, it's a fun fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's beyond a popcorn movie. That's a 1990s Chris Farley, Tommy Boy movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's a ride the whole time where it's funny, hilarious thing happens, funny. And it's a callback to 80s movies, too. That soundtrack is unfucking believable. Yeah. The mixture of 70s rock and 80s synth.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Oh, man. I love it. Just watching it, just going like, I fucking love it.
One of the best Stan Lee cameos.
Absolutely.
Also.
Cutting his hair.
Yeah.
Oh, cutting his hair?
Yeah. cuts his hair. And he's
Hold still.
And he screams and he's afraid. Like, he does the girl shriek like 3 or 4 times in the movie.
Whenever they do the fucking Willy Wonka tunnel scene.
Yes, it's the exact same thing.
And he's screaming, he's just sitting there. Oh my God, dude.
There's a couple moments, I think, of comedy that fall flat. I think for the
Grandmaster.
His, partner or whatever it is who fries the people, she's not that great. But whatever, it's a misfire.
She had some good parts in it.
It's a misfire.
I did find one thing interesting, though, when it came to... And it kind of, gave me, a new take on Hulk. Have you noticed that whenever, Hulk is called Banner, he'll get fucking pissed off?
Yeah.
It annoys him.
They hate each other.
But yet, whenever Thor called him an idiot but still called him Hulk, he didn't get mad. He's like, big monster.
Yeah.
So, what if that's the whole thing with the Hulk? You just gotta call him Hulk and you'll keep him calm.
What works in this movie? The humor? The action? The overarching story where he loses everything? Doctor Strange at the beginning? Doctor Strange was fucking so good in this movie.
I like Doctor Strange wearing his Doctor Strange gloves.
Yeah, the yellow gloves, man. Yeah. He was rocking them.
That's an iconic part of him,
He does not have them back in Infinity War. That kind of bummed me out.
Yeah, a little bit.
But this, he has them. And the whole thing where he is more powerful than Loki made me really fucking happy.
Yes.
And whenever they're having that cool little scene.
They put him in the infinite loop.
Yes, exactly. And he's like, I've been falling for a half hour. And that cracked me up.
Yeah.
And then whenever he's like, I'm going to get you, he's like, bye-bye. And he just throws the portal at him.
So good.
So fucking good. The scene where Thor comes back to Asgard and he's like, I know it's you, Loki, and he throws the thing.
Oh, he holds him in front of the fucking path of Mjolnir.
Right there.
So
he's like, I can sense.
How about Matt Damon dying as Loki?
Great.
I love this.
So, also, the guy that's playing Thor in the play...
He's his older brother.
Is his older brother, and Sam Neill.
Yes, from Jurassic Park. Sam Neill plays Odin.
Great.
Such a great little scene.
Yeah.
So good. How about Hottie McHotpants coming in as the Valkyrie? Tessa Thompson.
Wow. I love her entrance. Her being shit-faced and falling off the ramp of her fucking shit after she blasts everybody away.
It's those little moments where she clicks it together and she pulls it up like the RoboCop 2, the giant RoboCop. Right. And she fucking makes it shoot everyone. And they just fall into ribbons and shit like that. So good.
Yeah.
The first battle between Thor and Hulk where he's like, so much has happened.
Yeah.
And then they just start fighting.
Yeah, that gladiator scene, man. That was the fucking
amazing.
shit.
Everything about this movie, and it doesn't seem like it should work. When you put it on paper and you go, we're going to go to this crazy post-apocalyptic future world where they battle galactic things, and then we're going to have the old school Asgardian, stuff.
It's funny you say that because they actually put it on paper and it worked.
It worked.
It's called the fucking Planet Hulk.
Yeah, you're right. But
and Thor Ragnarok.
Playing the storylines together, it doesn't seem like it worked, but this movie fucking works on a level that's crazy. And it opens up the cosmic universe even bigger. Right. Just like Guardians.
More so than the Guardians. Exactly. But it ties them together also.
Absolutely. And once we get to Infinity War, where it literally ties them together. Yep. The only thing I didn't like about this movie, and I know I keep pulling out little things, is when they're back on Asgard and Heimdall is pulling the people through. That's the only time in the movie the cinematography seems off. It seems like it's a TV movie, but everything else looks epic in scale and big.
Whenever
and then just like,
Thor
we're in
is
the
looking
woods,
through Heimdall's eyes and he's showing him what he's doing at the time, he's trying to get all the Asgardians safe.
It's the only part of the movie where I'm like, this does not seem
It seemed a little bit like it was from the old Hercules TV show where Xena, warrior princess.
It seemed like they went, we're good on the budget.
The only thing that was missing was Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
I loved Mark Ruffalo in this movie.
Yeah.
I thought he was fucking great.
Well, even his motion cap.
Yeah.
He played Hulk.
And I love the fact that you want to know who I am and why I seem so familiar. And he jumps out, you're about to see. And he's just fucking and Family Guy crumples on the floor.
Great scene.
All right, how about Scourge? Carl Urban.
Oh, Carl Urban was great in it.
He's hilarious, dude. And the fact that the end he
these up in a place in Midgard called Texas.
So good.
I called them Dez and Troy. And I put them together. They destroy.
And then that fucking dragon comes through and it just douses those girls in green slime. Green blood.
What a great opening.
Everything about this movie is on
the shake weight.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Ladies, behold my stuff.
How about Hela? Was she...
Hello, fine.
She was... All right, number one, she was. Number two... I immediately went to Google and looked her up in a bikini because I'm like, it can't be that fiddly fine. It was. Number three, terrifying. She literally brings a menace to that character, and you believe she could bring the destruction.
Yeah, man, that scene with her taking out the fucking hammer at the very beginning, whenever Odin fucking fades away.
One-handed.
Destroys Mew Mew. Gone. Fucking gone, dude. And I like the fact that they got rid of all the characters from the first 2 movies. We didn't need them. Bring in new shit. It literally rebooted the Thor shit in a way better way. Made him a funny character. Made him more interesting. It gave it the kick that
it really needed. Because could you imagine Thor from Age of Ultron being in Infinity War?
Nope.
Like, it would not have been the fucking same fucking movie at all.
For a long time, there's a sense that the character was stupid, or he was kind of like a dullard in a way, like he was refusing to see. This movie is like, listen, Loki, I know.
I think the way he was like pretending is like not so much stupid as he was just like.
They kept writing him as a new person to Earth and not understanding how they perceive things. Well, I think now that they've written, like, okay, he's been on Earth long enough, he can fucking talk like a normal person or whatever.
But there's definitely a change in that character where he went from being, like, naive in a way, I say, to being to the point where he's like, Loki, I know I can't trust you.
He's confident.
He knew that in the previous movies, too, but on a different level now, he's just like, you're going to be you, I'm going to be me.
He's confident as opposed to being cocky.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. Also, he finally accepts that he needs to be the leader. Whenever Odin dies, he's like, I will protect these people. Asgard is not a place, it's a people. I know I say it wrong. It's fine. Asgard.
Asperg. Ass place or whatever.
Life is like an Asperg.
What are those sparkles you're shooting out of your fingers?
But that acceptance, also him losing his eye and then coming back, and that acceptance going, I will be my father's son.
Not needing the hammer to be powerful.
And other father figures saying, if you need that hammer to be something, like Tony Stark told
with the suit, it parallels, definitely.
Right.
There are a lot of running themes throughout Phase 3. Holy shit.
You're right. There's a theme.
And it also has to do like fathers and shit.
Wait till we get to Black Panther. It's the same fucking thing, dude.
Fathers, Thanos. Oh my god. Endgame.
You're right.
Who's the ultimate father?
You're so high. Stan Lee comes out and goes, Excelsior!
Right. Oh my god. I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be amazing.
Stan Lee's one of the Watchers, bro.
Let's talk about the Loki and Thor relationship in this movie. That's a fun fucking brother relationship where they're just like, you're my brother, you're a fuck up, you do what you do, I'm going to go over here and do this. It does tie together the trilogy of him being like, I'm going to double cross you, I'm going to backstab you. And it moves into Infinity War where he goes, you are my brother and I'm going to protect you finally. Where he accepts him, he goes, I accept the fact that you're just a piece of shit, but I still love you.
Exactly.
And the inverse where he's like, I accept that you're...
Accepting of my piece of shittery, so...
Yeah. He's like, you're going to be you, I'm going to be me. We can keep doing this, but eventually you need to grow up.
Right.
And we need to take responsibility for what our father built. And you see that at the beginning.
Yeah. He looks over at Thor and is like, Odin's son.
Yeah. And he goes, the whole, I just think it works. I've always thought that Loki and Thor relationships worked in these movies. That was the one thing that worked.
They have good chemistry.
And to finally be like, even he's on the planet and he's like, my brother's here. That's all he really cares about. And he goes, I know you're going to double cross me, but I don't care. You're still my fucking brother.
That story that he tells about him turning into a snake.
Yeah.
It is scared.
It was a classic. Yeah, this movie's great. Just go watch it. This and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Just go fucking watch it.
I'm a huge fan of the Hulk, like in the comics.
Oh, so good.
And...
like I said,
to see him talking in this one, like fucking Hulk, like fucking, he's acting like a giant fucking baby.
Yeah,
like, but he's so good. Like, I mean, they really captured the Hulk that I wanted to see.
Like, I had no idea the Hulk could be that passive aggressive.
Oh, it's so good.
Hulk like fire. Well, we're both kind of like fire. Hulk like real fire.
Fire. Strong.
My favorite thing was when he tries to play the Hulk and Banner against each other. He's like, I don't even like Banner. And then when he's Banner, he's like, I don't even like the Hulk.
They're just using me to get to the Hulk.
I don't even like the Hulk.
He's like, ooh, smash.
So good. Very much a buddy movie kind of thing. Like I said, it plays back to the tropes of the 1990s buddy film.
Well, it's also the only way that we're going to see like a true Hulk movie also.
Yeah, I don't think Hulk's going to stand alone. I'm okay with that, actually.
He'll never get a standalone.
They're talking about they're going to add him into a bunch of different movies like this. He's going to have bigger parts in a lot of other movies.
His story arc is going to be over the course of the Avenger into Thor Ragnarok, into Infinity War, into Endgame. And we're going to see something happening in Endgame, which will be the
final. Hopefully carry over to fucking Phase 4 to give it a little more clout.
Do we truly believe
I would really like to know where the disconnect is when it comes to Hulk that he can't have and carry a standalone movie.
Because Universal still owes
Universal. It's an issue. It's a contracting and fucking licensing.
No, but every Hulk movie that we have so far is just like.
But you're not. But it's a distribution thing. Universal owns the rights to those movies,
so they can't MCU it.
And they don't want to play
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Sony wanted to play ball with Spider-Man. They do not want to play ball with Hulk.
But do you think the Hulk, because I have no interest in seeing a standalone MCU version of the Hulk.
No.
I really think it's unnecessary.
I'm fine with the way they're doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
But I think
if we get to a certain point, if we get the Hulk that we're talking about, I would be interested in maybe even seeing a Mr. Fix-It fucking Hulk whenever he actually combined the intellect with the brawn. He just lost some of his powers. He ended up becoming a bouncer in Vegas.
Oh, here's a weird connection, y'all. Matt Damon, the actor portraying Loki in a play honoring the god of mischief's apparent self-sacrifice. Damon also played an archangel named Loki in Dogma.
Yep.
That's fucked up. I didn't realize that.
You didn't know that?
The other thing, Jeff Goldblum was previously considered for the role of Dr. Bruce Banner Hulk in the original Ang Lee Hulk movie.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
All right.
He did not get that.
Anything else we want to add on Thor Ragnarok Hulk's Revenge 2017-18, whatever?
The fight between Hulk and the giant wolf, they should have been a little more focused on that.
Yes, I really wanted more of that.
I wanted
just
more
the
of that.
Power, though. You just see the power, and then at the end where he goes after what's the thing that creates
scary monster.
He's like big monster.
Yeah.
He's like, no, get in here.
I like how you see Hulk in the background, just kind of they're talking.
We totally skipped over Korg.
Korg is the shit.
Korg and Meek!
Piss off, Ghost!
The hammer pulled you off.
My favorite is, Meek stayed. I stepped on him earlier.
Right.
Oh, he's not dead. He's fine.
So there's so many things about Korg. He talks about trying to gather a revolution before, and he didn't have enough pamphlets. So it's like paper beats rock, right? So then, on top of that, Korg is like giant fucking blade hands. It's like fucking scissors. He ends up killing. All right, not
Meek.
Korg, Meek. Yeah. He kills fucking Meek. So Rock beats scissors. Like there's this whole fucking. There's a lot of paper rock scissors fucking jokes in there also.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I did love that Meek turned out to be alive at the end, though.
Yeah,
that was great.
Too.
Oh,
and then,
Meek's alive.
What's up, man?
We better get some fucking Korg in England.
There's a giant rock monster in the Dark World which he defeats. Are they related?
No, that is Korg in the Dark World.
Wait, what?
They don't come out.
The giant rock monster he defeats with the hammer.
That's supposed to be Korg.
Nah.
Yes, and also there's a scene in Guardians 2 when they're doing the planet jumps and they show two rock monsters fighting. That's Korg and somebody else fighting on those fucking planets. But that is they don't say it. But Taika Waititi retconned it and changed the figure outlay of it and everything else and worked it into that. But that was Korg that he was fighting in the Dark World.
Sweet.
Well, what if Ben Grimm got hit with some cosmic rocks that were made up of Korg's
That's what I was wondering. Because honestly, there could be a correlation between the two. That'd be pretty fucking sweet. All right.
Okay, never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to debate.
No,
just fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shoot it down.
You try to shoot it down. I should have said try. Go ahead and shoot it down.
No, I'm just saying they were all hit by the same cosmic wave belt, right? But they just all got different powers. So that, in theory, that would mean 4 different
There's a fire planet with Dormammu on there.
Yeah.
There's the planet, the Korg planet, there's the invisible planet, and there's the stretchy planet.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, Planet Stretch.
I love Planet Stretch. It's my favorite place to go. My dick is huge there.
Yeah. Well, my balls.
Oh, well, they're already big. Meaning mine, not yours.
I'm in my sack.
It's giant, dude. Literally, my sack looks like that beanbag over there.
That was your sack.
Is your sack just 2
Throw your coffee cup on top of that beanbag, and that's what it looks like. Just my dick is the coffee cup, and my sack is the other one.
Wait, are you that much scrotum, and you're just 2 walnuts?
I'm literally sitting on it right now. That's my situation.
Shiny disco balls.
I was X-rayed a lot when I was a kid. That's my superpower. With the power of giant balls. Nutter Man. All right, Black Panther.
I'd be like at the sperm bank every day if I were you.
Yeah, but I don't want to turn the curse of the giant nuts onto the
Not my problem.
Children walking around with elephantitis nuts everywhere.
Not my problem.
Wasn't what we just give birth to instead of huge nuts?
Yeah, well, we're trying to get the baby out. We're going to cut the bag open. The baby's balls won't come through the bag.
He's raping her!
He's fucking ripping her. Oh, God, here's your 28-pound baby, man.
He's a hobo. Oh, man, 100% power.
God, good Lord, look at this kid's balls.
I've got big balls. I've got big balls.
Oh.
All right, Black Panther.
Baby's got the biggest balls of them all.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. All right, Black Panther, director Ryan Coogler, writer Ryan Coogler, and some other guy. After the death of his father, T'Challa returns home to the African nation of Wakanda to take his rightful place as king. When a powerful enemy suddenly reappears, T'Challa's mettle as king and as Black Panther gets tested when he's drawn into a conflict that puts the fate of the Wakanda and the entire world at risk. Faced with treachery and danger, the young king must rally his allies and release the full power of the Black Panther to defeat his foes and secure the safety of his people. Budget, $200 million. Box office, $1.344 billion. What do we think of Black Panther? Fuck you guys. I love Black Panther.
I like it.
I only watched it once before.
It was
when
alright.
I rewatched it, way better than I remember it being. And I will put it this way. When I first saw it, I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's right. When I watched it this time, the fucking drama in that movie it's like a soap opera. It's through the roof. That movie...
It's like a novella.
It's crazy how good that movie is. Like, the drama is so fucking good. The story arc is so fucking good. I was blown away. I literally did not feel like it earned the Best Picture nomination.
No.
It is on par with the Best Picture. I really, truly believe that. That third act is the only thing that pulls it out of that running. All the drama, the connections between everything before that, fucking amazing. Go ahead. What do you guys think?
It was alright.
I thought that at first too, but like I said, I turned on that. I feel like it earned way more credibility than I originally thought.
I like the opening scenes with T'Chaka in the early day or whatever.
Chicago.
Chicago. Chicago.
With, showing them back in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Was it Los Angeles?
Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland back in the day. That was a cool fucking little callback, and Marvel doing their de-aging thing.
Right.
It was really good.
Which it was the actors, right?
Right.
They de-aged them, right? No, it was the actors that.
No,
were...
like in Guardians 2, they had an actor that had like similar facial structure to a young Kurt Russell, and they just like pretty much superimposed Kurt
Yeah,
Russell.
but that's what we're saying. They de-aged
him. They de-aged
Yeah,
him.
they de-aged the actor who played T'Chaka. That's the father.
T'Chaka.
No, two Chakas.
But that's the thing, is building that character, having the Hamlet style, like brother against brother, it's almost Shakespearean in a way, the way the storyline plays out. Where even T'Challa was like, he has every right to be pissed and come back here and want to fight us. You know,
Right.
We abandoned him. Why did we do this? And when he goes to the plane where he can see his father, he's like, you guys fucked up. Like, what you did was wrong. And that's the point where I was like, this fucking movie is great! I loved it at that point. He doesn't know how to react to this situation. He's like, you guys really fucked up, and I've got to fix this, but I can't fix this now. I'm watching, I'm just like, this movie's so fucking good.
This movie had me when the fact that I was actually siding with Killmonger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And by the end of the movie, they all side with Killmonger.
He did a great job in it.
He did.
Yeah.
He was so good. In his character arc, where he's like, we should be sharing this with the world. And they're like, you want to share the destructive aspect with the world. We should be sharing the part of this culture that could save
But
the
he
world.
he was wrong on that too. I was like, damn, Black Panther, he kind of got you beat on all aspects because you're doing nothing for black people around the world just in your own country. Killmonger was not wrong in that aspect. There was no part. They were selfish with everything. Their technology, their riches, everything. They kept all to themselves and like fuck the rest of them.
Right, and that's the arc that goes through this movie where they go, we have the ability to save this world.
And they were doing nothing.
And we're not doing it, and we should be. And that's why this movie feels like it's something different, where the character comes out on the other side and go, sorry, what can a third world nation do to protect this? And he just gives that smile at the end, and I was like, fucking A, right, that's awesome. That's a world we want to live in, where somebody who has power and the ability to change something does that. And that's why I like this movie, because it is. Movies can be inspiration.
It's like Hitler.
Sense. Well, no, the inverse. Movies can be inspiration, where it makes you want to save the fucking world. It makes you want to change something. And I felt like that this movie did that, where it said, we have the power to do something different. Let's change it. Now, if we only have the technology to change it, that would be fucking amazing. Please, Killmonger. God.
Michael B. Jordan.
He is awesome in this movie.
Yep.
I love the way that character looks. When he takes off his shirt and he's got the dots for every person he's killed underneath his skin, I was like, that's insane.
Oh, it's like a real thing also, the travel scarring.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's this group in Africa that I think once the male's like 12 or 13, they'll fucking pin his ass down and do gator scales.
Oh, it's
on
fucking
either
nuts.
side, on both sides of his back.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I feel like the guy who plays Black Panther, he's good, but everyone surrounding him elevates this movie in a way, especially his sister, Suri. She's amazing.
And even his head of security.
Oh, the girl from The Walking Dead?
Yeah, she's a badass.
Wait, that's Michonne?
Yeah, that's Michonne.
Get the fuck out of here.
And, like I said, the only thing for me in this movie that doesn't work is that third act. Andy Serkis fucking works in this movie.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is awesome. The thing, okay, so the final scene where they're fighting in the suits, it was very Matrix to me. The CGI looked.
I will admit that fight scene was very
You are
lackluster.
so right. There was some very lackluster.
Yeah, it was really kind of. This movie's making $1 billion. It had a huge fucking budget. Like, why the fuck?
Because they spent it on the fucking rhinos, dude.
The war rhinos were the shit, though. I mean, those are pretty fucking cool.
At that point, I was just like, fucking throw everything in the kitchen sink, and I don't even give a shit. This
the
is
war
so much
rhinos
fun.
were dope.
That third act is a little bit misleading, because it's like, really? You guys are just going to follow this new guy because the one guy from Get Out's telling you to?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Also,
there's no way this battle would happen.
Do you remember when they had like the heads guards like cornered in with their fucking weird tarp shields, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were cornered in, and the guy was in the middle of all his men on the rock, and then all of a sudden you turn like M'Baku just like walks up all fucking gingerly
M'Baku
between
was
all
awesome.
that shit
Yeah.
and just lifts him up. I'm just saying that kind of just
He was
that was one
so
thing really
good, though.
bugged me.
And I loved M'Baku, where he's like, we're going to eat you.
Yeah, M'Baku's
No, we're
cool.
vegetarians. I was like, fuck yeah, you are. This is great. The movie works for me. The waterfall scenes where they're fighting for the right to be king.
Drinking the fucking shit to
Amazing.
take away the powers. That's
also
really good.
so good.
Yeah.
And Baku even said pretty much the same thing that Killmonger said. You know, you have all this, yet you do nothing for your people.
Right. He did say that.
And it's kind of like, God damn!
Yeah, and they
I
were
did
right.
not care for the Wakandans at all in the beginning of that movie, especially when Killmonger was making those points. Like, he's making a lot of fucking sense.
And that's the whole arc of the movie, is coming through on the other side and being like, there's so much good we can do for the world, and we can now, and we need to start. And I think that's why it works. And I really like that movie. I would say not maybe top 5.
It's not top 5 for me, but it's good.
It's close to the mid-tier of it. I was more impressed by it on a rewatch than I was on my initial watch. Which my initial watch, I liked it a lot. But I would say it deserved like the drama and the character arcs for all those characters, like 5 characters that have a separate arc. I was like, this is fucking cool.
What about those super sneaky sneakers that he was supposed to have? They didn't make sounds, but then he was running upstairs and I mean you could hear doom doom doom.
Yeah, they didn't
doom,
really
doom.
play that out very well. I would love to see. My favorite version of Black Panther is the Marvel Zombies Black Panther.
Oh,
Have you ever
God,
read
yeah.
Marvel Zombies?
Wow.
Like, Black Panther is pretty much the lead character in Marvel Zombies. And he literally becomes the protector in the first series. And in the second series, they go to Wakanda, and there's a whole storyline there. Well, like Tony Stark and the Hulk and Captain America are out in outer space eating different
Pretty much
planets.
Planet
It's
Hulk,
fucking crazy.
but with zombies.
But like,
And I also like the fact that he was actually kept like as kind of like a fucking meal for Hank Pym to come back to, just to like, I'm gonna go take a piece of your leg so it can keep me sane.
yeah,
and
dude,
shit.
it's so good. Yeah, it's crazy. He literally comes back piece by piece, and he's trying to eat them. And he doesn't become a zombie. Black Panther doesn't. T'Challa doesn't. But he escapes with the help of Wasp.
Yeah.
And she's just a head at that point, and the head's still alive, and they put her in a fucking armored suit. It's crazy.
They end up falling in love and shit. It's like crazy.
Dude, Marvel Zombies is the shit. It's so fucking crazy.
They even have when Ash and Marvel Zombies collide.
Yeah.
Ash from Evil Dead.
So, I got you.
All right, let's move. Anything else? Anything else other than our love of Marvel Zombies, which we'll never fucking see? Is there anything else about Black Panther you guys were like that?
It was very black.
To the point where Martin Freeman, he was called the token white guy on the set.
He was.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
That's pretty dope.
I do think, and I stick to this, I don't understand why they're not making T'Challa the leader of the new phase of Marvel movies.
Yeah, it should be.
They should really lead with that. It just makes sense. Why would you make Captain Marvel the leader of the fucking Phase 4?
Right. What's the point of introducing him anyways? Almost.
Yeah.
Like if he's the initial newest member like that, like I mean, in Civil War being introduced, obviously he's gonna have a bigger part. Got his own movie,
and he's got the leader potential too. He could, like you
definitely
saw. And the women in that movie,
leads several people.
You want to talk about strong female characters?
Yeah.
Watch that fucking movie.
Yes.
Those women, the female army, they are the ones that are fucking, they bring the power. They're like, we have the control here. We want him to be king. So he's going to be our king. And then eventually they'll probably
It's kind of like The Lion King. I mean, a lot.
Father was killed.
I'm just saying.
Father killed
at
by
the beginning
brother.
of it.
He goes to fucking talk to his ghost father.
Doug, can we do pizza now?
No, not yet. We got 3 more movies.
Bro.
All right, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Director, Peyton Reed. Scott Lang is grappling with the consequences of his choices as both a superhero and a father. Approached by Hope Van Dyne and Dr. Hank Pym, Lang must once again don the Ant-Man suit and fight alongside the Wasp. The urgent mission soon leads to secret revelations from the past as the dynamic duo finds itself in an epic battle against a powerful new enemy. Budget, $162 to $195 million. Box office, $622.7 million. This movie obviously came out after Infinity War, but I want to talk about it first before we get to the big data here. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Hobbs, what'd you think before you're cranking this?
I really liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I really liked the villain. I like that Lawrence Fishburne was in it. He's awesome.
He bullet pointed that shit. Did you hear that?
Everything that guy just said was bullshit.
Bottom tier Marvel for me. This movie is not great. Fun to watch while you're watching it, but the same thing I've said before. This movie does not have the same energy and charisma as the first one. This movie, for some reason, just seems like it's paint by colors.
The first act did not really have me sold. No. It dragged a lot. There's a few fun moments, but it wasn't like, okay, like let's get to this. I would say the third act really did redeem it in a lot of ways.
Right.
Like it made it a lot better. But I remember watching it in a movie theater. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to like this. Why am I not liking it yet?
You are so right. That's the exact feeling I had while watching it too. Where I'm like, this seems like it should be better. Yeah, it's fine and it works, but it should be better.
Right. Like, why am I not laughing? Because first of all, I think Edgar Wright not having a hand in it plays a good chunk of that. Right. Because those characters, they did a good part of the first one, wasn't it? Mostly based off of his screenplay for it. Yeah, his original draft.
And it didn't have that same feel.
No, I mean it didn't. They tried to hit. Yeah, they tried to hit the same beats, and they got them in some moments. Walton Goggins, fucking love him. He's charismatic as shit. Whenever he's on the screen, you know, he commands your attention. I like the aspect with, like, they took the Thomas the Tank Engine idea from the first one, but they used it in so many different things, though. Like,
the salt, and then the Pez dispenser, and then the cars. I like the Matchbox cars a lot.
Wasn't there a chess piece also?
Mm-hmm. But then
also shrinking the fucking building down, the fucking Pym Lab.
That was fun.
That's fucking cool. Like, I mean, the cars, the fucking Hot Wheels that he had.
I love the cars,
These are all real cars.
I love the cars.
And then fucking Michael Pena chooses the fucking stupid fucking purple with the flames on it. Like, there's a bunch of really fun moments in it. But that first part of it it didn't really do it for me. Right. Whenever they get to the character, the ghost or whatever, she's got an interesting background. It's kind of a cool story, but I think they try to force too much.
Not as big as it was.
I felt like they just needed something to explain what's going to happen in Endgame.
Right.
That's what it feels like. Okay, Ant-Man, we're going to have to involve this quantum realm somehow in Endgame, so let's just put in an Ant-Man movie.
This was also the palate cleanser it was supposed to be for Infinity War. Like, it ended on such a dark note, but you knew that there was more movies coming up that were Marvel movies before Endgame. And, like, you knew that they were taking place during or afterwards. Or how are they going to work it in? I think it missed a lot of beats also.
It did. And for me, a lot of the humor is there, but it falls flat. The movie feels like it should be funnier than it is. The things I do like the Quantum Realm. I like going down there. I like getting Janet Van Dyne back. I like seeing Hope in the suit, but it's not as dynamic as it should be. Like, it's kind of a bland-looking suit. And a lot of
There's no wow factor to it.
Really, there isn't.
I don't think she was even playing the same character from the first movie, though.
She got what she wanted, and that was it. She was very bland. Scott Lang's fine in the movie. I think Paul Rudd does his part.
I love Paul Rudd.
I think he does well. I think Michael Keaton's still playing the same character. I think he's on.
Michael Douglas.
My bad. Michael Douglas is playing it
Michael
pretty well.
Keaton.
Yeah, it might as well be Michael. And like you said, I like Morpheus coming in there and doing his thing.
Yeah,
as Giant Man.
Giant Man.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. No, I think they're gonna incorporate that also.
I think the best scene in the movie is when they go to the school and he can't get his regulator to work and it keeps growing.
He's like a little kid. He's got the big hoodie on,
and then they comes out and he's like, "Did you have a good day at school?" And he says something. He's like, "Oh, he seems grumpy. Do you want a juice box?" I was like, that's so funny.
That scene in the car where they're driving away and he's in the back, that's like a total callback to like Inner Space, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever they shrunk down the fucking.
How about Michelle Pfeiffer coming back? As
dude, she looks good as a Silver Fox.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
Yeah. Catwoman got it. You know why? Because she didn't fuck with her face like all these other stupid bitches like Meg Ryan.
Yeah. Where she looks like...
Yeah, the fucking...
She looks like the mask.
She looks like the fucking Joker.
She looks like somebody switched silly putty.
Speaking of, Meg Ryan, Joker, 2021.
Done. Cast her right now.
Flashpoint. I also like the part where he's on the fucking truck, like a little toy truck, and
it's like a skateboard. Almost,
like that scene was fucking great. Yeah. The cutscene where he's actually in the quantum realm, and then the reveal that the snapping, the fucking decimation happened.
Like I said, I want to see. He's looking at the water bear, the tardigrade, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And because she brings it up again, tardigrade. She's like, "Don't get eaten by a tardigrade. They're cute, but they're deadly.
Yeah.
And don't fall into a time." Warp, okay, or whatever she said.
Right.
I think there's no way that does not play in the beginning of Endgame. Number one, if we see the tardigrade disappear during the snapping, like we talked about before, he's looking up and he sees it. He's like,
that would be cool.
And it just disappears. And then on top of that, he falls. Maybe Scott Lang is the key to Endgame, where he actually is the only one who falls into a time loop, who can help change things on that small level. Maybe whenever they look at that in the first trailer and they go, "What time is it?" or "Where is this?" Or I can't remember how exactly they say it. I think they say, "Where is this?" Maybe he wasn't supposed to be there. Maybe this is 10 years in the future.
Oh, they say, "When is this?"
When is this? That's
it. Is this right now?
And they say, maybe this is 10 years in the future, and he just fucking shows up.
Yeah, there's a part of the trailer where he's walking through the streets, and it looks fucking overrun with, like, vegetation and shit.
Well, that's the thing, is, like, there's vegetation, there's flyers on the stuff. There has to be a period of time that goes in between.
But we've also seen the scenes where there's flashbacks, like, from the on-set photos where they're wearing the old uniforms from the Battle of New York.
I'm telling you, dude, if they don't do time... I'm going to be highly disappointed. If they don't do Professor Hulk or Hulk, World-Busting Hulk...
First of all,
I'm gonna be
I do like that role.
You built that up for me in my fucking head, dude. I was like, I kind of want to see that.
Hulk is going to want to get revenge on Thanos, and I don't think he's going to get it. But I think he's going to put on the gauntlet. Remember what Thor said about like the weapons from Nidavellir? It will fucking drive you insane and destroy your body. And since the Hulk's body is like pretty much indestructible, his mind is very fragile. Yeah. So, I think he's going to put on the gauntlet, and he's going to go fucking nuts. Or Natasha's going to die, and he's going to go fucking nuts.
Well, let's talk about the lead-in movie right now.
Alright, let's talk Infinity War.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to reach the pinnacle of the Marvel...
Pinnacle!
What did I say?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Pinnacle.
I've been drinking, and I'm going to have another shot. We're going to talk about the be-all, end-all, not Endgame yet, but... Infinity War.
The Endgame prequel. Wait.
You're right. It is the prequel.
No, it's not.
All right. Director, Anthony Russo, Joe Russo. I think they're brothers. Screenplay, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, and the rest of the Avengers. Once again, leaving out Captain America.
The other ones.
These other guys unite to battle their most powerful enemy yet, the evil Thanos.
Themselves. Oh, Thanos.
On a mission to... Ooh.
Thanos.
Thanos,
as they call it on what culture?
on a mission to
Thanos?
collect
Thanos.
all six Infinity Stones. Thanos plans to use the artifacts to inflict his twisted will on reality.
To inflict his twisted...
Jesus, is he using it on you right now? What the fuck is going on?
Did Thanos snap your mouth?
Yeah. He said that tongue is fucking ash out of fucking existence.
The fate of the planet and existence itself has never been more uncertain, as everything the Avengers have fought for has led up to this moment. Budget: 316 to 400 million. Box office: $2.048 billion USD.
I'm
Motherfuckers.
responsible for 4 of those movie tickets being sold when I was in theaters.
Motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I bought 5
Okay.
for myself.
Yeah, I went to see it 4 fucking times.
I had to get it for some other person. So
Motherfuckers, what do we think of Infinity War?
Perfect movie.
one of the greatest movies ever.
Perfect movie.
Perfect movie or perfect sequel?
Perfect movie.
Perfect movie?
I'm almost on board with Javi here. It is not just my favorite MCU movie, it's quite possibly one of my favorite movies ever.
I agree with you guys both. I think this movie is the pinnacle of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It did what no movie could ever do.
It did what no movie's ever going to do again.
It literally, when it ended...
Except for this next one.
When it ended, I went, I'm completely satisfied.
Oh, man.
Even though it ended on a cliffhanger, the cliffhanger to end all cliffhangers, the only thing that will ever rival The Empire Strikes Back.
This is our generation's Empire, is exactly what I'm saying.
This movie took it to that level where I went, you know what? I'm completely satisfied.
Yeah.
I feel like this did everything.
What a perfect fucking ending.
And the fact that Thanos wins at the end of this movie made me so fucking happy.
Oh, this is a Thanos movie.
Technically, the universe won because there's a lot less people for her to take care of.
Exactly.
That's so weird that we actually agree with what the villain was trying to do.
That's what a great fucking job. That's what they're doing. They're doing so good with these supervillains in these movies of humanizing them.
Right.
Like you can sympathize with them, empathize even.
What is it about Scrotum Chin that makes it fucking work so well, though?
Josh Brolin,
because he's not
honestly is doing great fucking acting.
Yeah, he's kind of a maniac, but when you see his intentions,
he's making some good. He's making a lot of sense.
Like when he was talking about Gamora, you started my people, and now the children go to bed with nothing but blue skies and full bellies.
Yeah,
I can't even handle the fact that you're holding Mario, you're cuddling his feet, and you're talking about this.
I love this.
You're the Thanos of this situation.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. The character is so.
He's altruistic.
Well-rounded.
I think,
he's
like whatever
altruistic.
he's explaining it, and then you're like, man, life would be great if the Kardashians weren't here.
Fucking motherfuckers taking out.
So many things. You're like, yeah, he's right, dude. There's too many of these idiots. Like, I don't care if I go with them, but at least I get rid of the majority of them. Like,
and he's already seen what happens when you don't fucking thin out the herd for nature's sake. His planet fucking went up in rubble. It was just fucking gone. Because of overpopulation. And he's like, I don't want to see any other planet happen what happened with Titan. And it's kind of like, okay, I can see where you're coming from, bro. Godspeed.
But was he right?
In a way, if you think about
it. It's so good because I asked, is he right? And then you stuttered. Because you know he's still wrong, but you can see his side of the argument. That's why the character's so fucking good. So good. Because you go, as a good person, you can be like, that's wrong. You should never do that. But there is a certain logic.
If you take emotion out of it and you just solely focus on the logic, he makes a lot of fucking sense. And in a way, he is not wrong.
It's wrong, but it's not wrong.
Well, it's just one of those things.
His intentions are wrong. The way he went about it was wrong.
Also, having to be in the situation and put through what he was put through to get to the point that he's become this way, that he is okay with snapping out half of existence. Right. Like that's an arc in itself, like the shit that he's been through, that he's willing to sacrifice the only thing that he fucking loves in this world, his daughter.
I was going to say,
just to fucking get this stone.
The fact that
he killed him to do that.
The fact that he truly loved him.
Yeah, and she didn't even realize either. She just fucking thought, like, oh, you lose.
You don't love anything other than those stones.
And then he's like, I'm sorry, little one. He truly
loved her.
Yeah.
Which is why at the end when he did the snap, he looked at it just like in sheer pain when he said, everything. And it's like, oh god, he literally did do everything.
Cost,
right. Yeah. I agree with you. The way that character is played. Now, keep in mind that's not Josh Brolin. That is Josh Brolin, but that's a CGI character.
Right.
You go from Jar Jar Binks, who was the first CGI character, who Jar Jar isn't bad. Of course, he's annoying and people don't like him, but as a character, he was fully realized as that character. And you go to the point where you watch Thanos and you just go, that's Thanos.
Right.
You don't even think about it. It's amazing. It's absolutely jaw-dropping that they made that character so real that you just believe he is that.
Well, so you're exactly right. You totally buy it. But also, I think they did a good job because he does look like Josh Brolin. Like they put those dots all over his fucking face.
They did the same rhythm they gave Andy Serkis for Planet of the Apes. Like he had the rig around here and just like captured all the moments of his face, all marked out.
I think he looks like Bruce Willis personally.
Dude, he looks like Brolin.
He's like Bruce Willis a little bit.
I can totally see Brolin's face in it, but just the acting is superb. The delivery of the lines,
and he's amazing. He's so calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah,
He knows what his mission is. He knows what he wants to do, and he never lets that emotion get in front of him. But at the same time, he feels it.
The opening fight scene between him and the Hulk, it happens so fast, but he fucking destroys the Hulk amazing. In like so many ways. That they're like MMA moves, like he's fucking throwing elbows,
like he
he grabs his fucking back and rams his head into his knee, and then fucking picks him up in like a fucking bench press and fucking
like I thought it was weird. Like when Loki said, "And we have a Hulk," and Hulk came busting, it's like, "Oh yeah, it's fucking over. Hulk got this." And I was like, I was like, let him have his fun.
The calm, cool, collected Ebony Maw
wasn't even like sweat.
Let him have his fun.
So amazing.
Yes, and then
out of all of his people, out of the Black Order,
Ebony Maw is
the shit. Yeah, like the whole time you're watching, you're like, just like that character design, the way he looks, the Squidward fucking comment.
So the transition from the feet stepping over the bodies at the beginning, you hear Ebony Maw talking, and then it pans up and you see him. It's like, holy shit, that looked like. I mean, it was real feet fucking stepping over everything, but the transition was seamless. How it went into him. You get what I'm saying?
That's
like, because those are live bodies that they're stepping over.
I feel
the legs look so real, and then you get up, you're like, holy shit.
I feel like as the Avengers was the ultimate popcorn or background movie, I feel like this is the ultimate big budget independent film. This movie, instead of focusing on all those big character moments, the fights and this and that, which are there, the emotional stakes of this movie feel like an independent film. You get so connected with all these characters that you followed for 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And what's going on. And you get so emotionally involved in the villain where you go, I can kind of see his side. That this movie has such an emotional impact on you as you're watching it that you might not even realize it. And you're getting all the good popcorn stuff, but it never feels that way. It feels like you're watching something that is...
But you don't have time to eat the popcorn.
No, you can't... You're doing the
Eddie Izzard where you're like, am I going to be eating too much popcorn where I can't hear what the fuck is happening right now? But you're like...
Because there's so much good shit in there. There's so much drama. There's so much character interaction. There's so many little character beats and moments within these different people that we've grown to love over 10 years, 20, 30 years plus because we love the comics before that.
It's a fucking ride on the bullet train from the get-go. It is nonstop, and it's unapologetic about that
It's so
shit.
there, but at the same time, it's never a moment where you're like, I can't understand what's going on, or I can't follow this action scene, or I'm not there. You're totally and 100% invested in every moment for every single person on that screen. And where you want the people who are the heroes to win, but you also understand the motivations of the villain, and that speaks so much truth to what's going on. And you never expect that fucking end. I did not expect that to happen.
Right.
There was like, there's no way they're going to let him win.
Right.
I know this is part one of 2 parts. I just figured it'll carry over into the next part. I never expected that he would actually, with Thor's newly forged axe in his chest, snap.
And then
there's no way that was going to happen.
He throws it into him, and then he gets out, walks into it, and shoves it into his fucking
and then
chest.
when he goes,
and he grabs his head too.
When he looks up with that pain, he goes, "You should have gone for the head." Exactly, and we all thought the same fucking.
What did you do?
Oh shit! So amazing.
So and I've said it a million times. The only thing that would have made these 2 scenes better with Thor entering into Wakanda, and then also, exactly, throwing the Led Zeppelin fucking song. Come on, just you, Owen.
Holy shit!
Like what I really liked about the Thanos one at the end of this one, and for some reason I felt completely okay with what happened.
Yes, you felt satisfied at the end of this movie.
I'm okay with this.
You felt like, you know what? What he wanted was validated, and he wasn't wrong. But once again, you have the human, and this is the thing that comes back. This really breaks the fourth wall. It comes back to us as people. We go, that's still wrong. And we want to see...
Or do we?
We want to see the good fucking win. Well, we're still waiting. We got 3 days until the good comes out. We want to see this all be undone. Tell me you don't want to see that in Endgame. You don't want to see what happens.
Oh, of course. No, there's obviously so many characters
that what he wanted was justified.
Yeah.
At the same time.
No, there's obviously redemption is due here.
But that speaks to the human condition where we know there's evil in the world and there's wrong in the world, and this could work. And to say a genocide on that level would work. It would benefit one half of the population. But deep inside, you know it's wrong.
Right. But then look what happened in that little clip in the Endgame trailer. Everything's just like turned to shit, even after the snap.
Exactly.
You know
it's kind of like
because we
grew up. If you think about it, Thanos has to roll the dice. Not every planet could end up the way Gamora's planet was.
And we know growing up that there's a better way. Yes, that's one solution, but there's another solution that's out there. And it was never given the chance. And that's what this movie speaks to, and the continuation of it and what we want to see happen. We want to see good rise above evil. Even though evil made sense and it was justified.
Well, it's just the same way that we love Darth Vader.
Exactly.
That's all there is to it. There's villains that we love and love to hate or hate to love or whatever else.
Such a good point, though. Thanos is on the level of Darth Vader.
I said, this is our generation's empire.
Absolutely.
It left us on the cliffhanger. Our heroes are in peril. We're uncertain about the future. We're waiting to see what comes.
And to build up those characters, like we're talking about all Phase 3, where they failed, where they fell short of what they could have been, and then to have to come together and rise above, just like how Spider-Man had to rise above. This is all about rising above what you are and what you're going to be for the greater good. And hopefully that's how this finishes off.
Phase 3 movies had a running theme, like multiple running themes, like friendship, or like bond, fathers, and fucking redemption.
Right.
That's pretty big. What if Thanos gets redemption in Endgame?
There's no way.
Are you sure about that?
There's no way.
No.
But once again, if he's a Vader-like character, would he? Maybe.
Well, if he's this generation's Vader...
Dude, that's a good fucking point, Javi.
He retires, or not retires, he goes back to his villa on Titan or whatever.
Throws up the Thanos scarecrow.
Well, then you also got
he becomes a farmer, a simple farmer.
Right.
Who's to say that he's going to fight whenever they come knocking at his door?
Which is why this movie cannot be 3 hours. I mean...
But that's where the time travel comes in, because they're going to have to go back before the fucking snap, apparently, I think.
I think there's going to be another baddie that's going to be way tougher than Thanos. And Thanos is going to do a sacrifice play and save everybody.
I don't know. The way they built him up...
It could be a redemption arc for him.
The emotional impact that Thanos had in Infinity War, there's no need to create something bigger and badder than him. He's already the biggest and baddest. And that's the thing this movie did so well, is they built it up, and I was sitting there going, I don't give a fuck about Thanos. I don't know what's going to happen. And now I'm like, I give a fuck about Thanos on the same level I give a fuck about all these other characters.
I was on board the moment that he fucking snapped Loki's neck.
Right.
And and before even I saw the interview with the Russo brothers, I knew in my head, I was like, oh, all bets are off now.
Right.
And then that's literally one of the things that they said, we wanted to evoke that with the death of Loki. But it just shows you that nobody is safe in this. It's all fair game. That was one of my theories before it fucking came out. I said everybody fucking dies.
Right. So how do we feel about all the characters that we've grown with over the 10 years, from Iron Man to Black Panther? How do we feel about all these characters and their moments in this movie? Was everyone satisfied? Some more than others for me.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
I think Iron Man. He was. If you could say anyone was the pivotal in this, him.
Did anybody else kind of get severely shocked when he got
stabbed by Thanos? Yeah,
yes.
Bro, my heart stopped. I fucking teared up. I was like, oh! I was like, fuck. I already knew that something bad was gonna fucking happen, anyways. But still, that's how involved I was in this fucking movie.
It's we've seen Tony Stark get beat the fuck up.
Yeah,
but seeing that That's kind of like, oh.
Well, because also they already let you know that all bets are off by fucking killing Loki right away, killing Gamora. So then he gets fucking stabbed. You're already so invested in these motherfuckers anyways.
Right.
And you feel it. Like, you feel it in your chest whenever he gets stabbed in the fucking chest.
You're like, it's over. It's over.
Bro,
this is it.
Like, the entire audience, like, just fucking let out another fucking
It was like fucking Iron Man got stabbed.
Like, yeah.
Fucking game over, man.
Yeah.
Like, if they pull a Hicks from Aliens. Game over, man! Game over!
How about the fact that they took the Guardians, which, once again, were not...
Damn.
Do you think if that movie had done as well as it did, they wouldn't have put him as such a big character in this movie? Like, that's a testament to that. The Guardians own at least 1/3 of this movie themselves.
Well,
the Guardians changed the entire feeling in that movie.
And then
at the beginning, whenever it goes to outer space, you hear
space.
Rubber Band Man playing in the background, it automatically turns into a Guardians movie.
And it kept the same theme throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And once again, Thor fits perfectly in with their universe.
Especially with the Ragnarok.
Exactly. The only thing in this movie that does not work for me, and you guys brought up, I'll bring up what didn't work for you, but what didn't work for me was Peter Dinklage's the King of the Midgets fucking giant midget thing.
Dwarf.
He's a giant dwarf who had to do the star. That's the only part of the movie that didn't work for me because he was just...
eerie.
It was weird, and he's like, that's what dying is. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right.
I was like, this is dumb.
I
still love Peter
Ragnarok
Dinklage.
humor, but...
I love Peter Dinklage, don't get me wrong, but that was the only part that didn't work.
It seemed a little forced.
But the whole reforging within a star...
Eitri is who he played.
But the whole reforging within a star, that worked for me. You guys said that Peter Quill's reaction to Gamora's death did not work for you. Is that correct?
Until I realized...
It always worked for me. So that I've heard that complaint.
No, I never. Well,
I've heard that complaint.
No, it's worked for me.
It always works.
Like I get it. Like, it makes more sense now. Whenever you brought up the way that he reacted as soon as his mother was killed by Ego, and as soon as he hears that, the way that he reacts, it holds. It gives clout to why he did it in Infinity War, and I didn't think of it that way.
He's a character,
but
who
also
wears his heart on his sleeve.
I always knew that he fucking it's about love with him anyways. Right. So it's still
he was in love with her from the moment he met her.
Yeah.
And that's why I bought it because I believe in true love. And I've heard people complain that it wasn't earned. For me,
it was earned.
It was earned, and also his reaction. Yeah, he was a jackass. Yeah, I wanted to slap him in the fucking face whenever he screwed everything up about getting the glove off. But I also understand from the side of his passionate feeling. And also because the movie needs a sequel, why he did that.
Okay.
And I bought it.
So, I think a lot of the complaints, that everybody's like, fucking Peter Quill's an asshole. I think they're just fucking speaking as
someone who would
Tony's or fucking Peter Parker's side or whatever else. Right. I think they totally fucking bought into it in the movie. You get what I'm saying?
I bought into it.
Because how can you not believe that fucking shit? They already made that clear. Whenever she went to go stab herself and the bubbles came out, and he's like, I told you to go right. You know, he's fucking crying whenever he has her.
Well, there's 3 moments in this movie where it pulls my heartstring. That's the first, where he goes, I told you to go right.
Yeah.
And he looks at her, and he goes to shoot her. And Thanos, even at the top of it, he tags with, I like you.
Yeah.
And that was good. The second one's where he's like, I'm sorry, little one. He throws her over the cliff. Because you could see, she's like, you're crying? Really? You're crying. He's like, I'm sorry, little one. Because she could never see that he truly loved her. In his own way, he loved her.
Yeah.
And the third one is whenever Peter Parker is dying and he falls into Iron Man and he says, I'm sorry, Mr. Stark. That part, even rewatching it, even talking about it now, well, you know, actually, there's 4 moments. Because Rocket Raccoon, whenever his reaction to, he's like, well, I got a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, this movie pulls on so much. That you're just like, you're fucking devastated by the end.
Because I really love Thor's speech to Rocky. He's like, did you know I'm 1,500 years old? And that whole thing.
Yeah.
And just kind of like, oh, fuck.
Right.
And that's how come I really want Thor. If, like, Thanos is going to die, I want to be at the hands of Thor.
I wanted it too, man, when he came down.
You know what? Thor fucking said that he's going to kill him.
Everyone, Nebula says she's going to kill him. Morris says she's going to kill him.
But they can't. Only
I'm sorry, Star-Lord said he's going to kill him. Everyone wants to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Thor's the only one that can actually do it.
Dude.
Which is why I think Endgame, he's not going to be... That's why Thanos is... I think Thanos is going to be like 30 minutes.
There's no way. Who gets the killing blow is Tony Stark.
No.
It's got to be. It's gotta be.
It's gonna be.
If it ends with him, it ends
It's
with
gonna
him.
end with
And
him.
that's gonna be the sacrifice.
It'll be a fucking Doomsday Superman situation.
It's the sacrifice. Who do we think makes it out of Endgame? Let's just go straight towards it.
Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk, Scarlet Witch.
No.
Nope.
Hulk.
All gone.
Hulk.
There ain't no way.
Black Widow. Definitely. She's getting her own movie.
Out of the 4, though, the original 4.
Oh.
All of them say
Hulk.
Cap.
There ain't no way, dude. I guarantee. I agree with you. Hulk, maybe.
Hulk
Thor,
is making it.
I think Thor's
Thor
going
will
to make
make
it because
it.
they've announced Thor 4, so
Yeah.
you can't not make it. But I think
Captain America and Tony are dead.
they're done.
I think Tony Stark is going to retire. Cap is going to die.
I think they both die.
And once again, it needs to end with that scene where he makes it to the dance.
Okay.
With Peggy
All right. So
Carter.
would you say like both sides of the Force equalizing out and dying together?
Maybe
then?
they work together to kill him. Maybe
I think
that's
I need to hear Cap say I can do this all day one more time to whoever he's fighting at the end for his life here.
right.
I'm telling you, it's not going to be Thanos. It can't be.
You don't think?
First of all, I told you this theory on D&D Net. He practically got soloed by Thor at the end of Infinity War. Now you're going to throw in Thor, a Hulk that's probably going to show up and that's going to be pretty fucking pissed, and Captain Marvel? No.
So
Even with 3 Infinity Gauntlets, one is dick and two in each of his hands, he ain't going to beat that. He's going to put away in half hour, leaving room for another villain.
Thanos got really fucked up after the snap. Also, you can see he's all burned up.
He's limping.
If you look closely, the skin on his left side is all burned up. The glove obviously is destroyed. We all saw that. But he is really fucked up. But he's sitting smiling at a fucking sunset falling on a grateful universe.
And you're going to tell me that those 3 are going to have trouble to gimped up Thanos?
No, I'm just saying, I don't know that he's going to be I don't know if that Thanos that won at the end of Infinity War is going to be the Thanos that they're going to be fighting
So
against.
they go back
I
before the
agree with
gauntlet then. They're going to fight a Thanos with an incomplete Infinity Gauntlet. So they should have an easier time with him then. There's no way he's going to take up 3 fucking hours.
Okay, so we don't know what's going to happen.
And also, we have an idea. Doctor Strange, also a huge, great part of this fucking movie. He did so good in this fucking movie.
Right.
Though, honestly.
And the fact that he sacrificed, he handed it over, he's like, it's the only way we can win.
Yeah.
I've looked at
14,506 ways.
And how many did we win?
One. He
So
knows what had to be done. So, that's one of the main focus points that everybody's brought up since the end of the fucking
I wonder,
first
was
one.
he looking into different dimensions of the multiverse? Or was
Bro,
he just
he
looking
was
at
looking
timeline
at-
for that one universe?
No, he's looking at every possible outcome of how they can defeat Thanos. It didn't matter timeline or dimension or whatever else.
Well, wouldn't a different universe have a different series of events?
No, because you can see all. Right? So,
Yeah, but you
he's
can, see
every possible outcome. Not every possible outcome in this dimension. Not every possible outcome in this
But
universe.
for that one timeline that he was in, right?
For every possible outcome that they had of beating Thanos. So, obviously, we think that time travel and going in the quantum realm is going to have a lot to do with this. So, clearly, maybe, if Doctor Strange saw an outcome that they were able to win, might have to do with a different dimension, or a quantum realm, or time travel, or anything else.
All right. So on that, I want to move on to the next movie, Captain Marvel. No, fuck that. I'm just kidding.
Can we talk about Two Girls, One Cup?
I'm just kidding.
Plank.
Listen, if you want to know what we think about Captain Marvel, go listen to that review.
Or flush a toilet. That's what we think of Captain Marvel.
Go listen
Or
to
just
that
go
podcast.
watch it, and you'll be like, man, this movie sucks, and you'll know what we think.
But I do want to talk about what do we think Phase 4 will be after Endgame.
Terrible.
What do we think Endgame will end with, and what do we think that Phase 4 will look like?
I want to see Professor Hulk standalone movie.
That'll be dope.
I want to see Rocket, Groot, and Thor team up movie.
They're definitely doing a Rocket Groot prequel movie, showing his origin at some point. They're going to do that.
I want to see that.
I also heard that they're doing a Wolverine versus Blade.
Obviously, I want to see...
I'm shocked by that right now. I have not heard that at all.
You just made that up.
No, look it up. They announced it.
You look it up.
No, don't let him get on his phone. He needs to talk.
Alright.
Guardians Volume 3. Adam
course.
Warlock. We know Javi's
Of
all about
course.
that.
I'm just saying, why you fucking introduce the character and not do shit with it?
They will.
They might actually do something with it with an in-game.
That's right.
There
He's
was
evil
There was a
when they
theory.
first encountered him.
There was a theory that Adam
No,
Warlock
he
was
turns
gonna
evil.
play
He
a
turns into
major role in
Magus.
Endgame.
So who's
Wait, what was that, Duck? I'm sorry.
No, there was a theory that Adam Warlock would play a major role in Endgame. I'm shocked if that happens, because if they kept that casting under wraps, that's crazy.
That might be why they rehired James Gunn before.
Maybe. There was rumors that Matthew McConaughey was the one who was going to play Warlock for a long time. All right.
Thanos.
Hey, man.
How does this movie...
I'll snap my finger.
I mean...
These people are gone.
It's crazy, man. Do you think there's a way that this movie could Rian Johnson us in a good way, subvert our expectations, and actually go somewhere we did not expect?
I hope it does the Rian Johnson in the...
What way do you think you can?
Are you happy that you don't know anything beyond the first 15 minutes of this movie?
Honestly.
I'm a bit annoyed.
Really?
I'm not going to lie, I am.
You want to know
They've been doing
more?
fake trailers, so I don't know what the fuck is real.
Right.
I know the fact I can deal with
maybe
Captain
they're
Marvel.
lying to you about saying that that's only the first 20 minutes also.
That is true, but I also got to know.
They've been red herring us. They've been red herring us.
I also got the Captain Marvel situation, which I'm not excited about. So I'm wondering how she's gonna just be in that movie, and that's the other thing I really worried about.
I honestly think the fact
She's gonna play a small part.
The fact that they filmed it before her actual movie, I think will make a difference. I agree with Jake. I think she will play a smaller part. She's a piece of this puzzle, not the full thing.
Right. They're going to need her for certain abilities. That's the only thing. But this is an Avengers movie through and through. This is the final chapter of the Avengers that we saw from the first fucking... Exactly. From the phase 1.
This is the first 4 Avengers. This
phase
is going
2.
to be Iron Man and Captain America's movie. I guarantee it.
Yes.
With Hulk and Thor thrown in there. That's the reason when they snapped. And this is an interesting point, on the poster... They put on the top tier the people who survived, and on the bottom tier all the people who were snapped away. That's how they did the poster.
They're all
in
black and white. Yeah,
they did it on the poster.
Great marketing, and also at the end you see that it's only the main core Avengers who survived.
The first
there
6
obviously has some symbolism there, or semblance of as to why it's only them. You know,
right? And so, like I said, the fact that we don't know beyond the first 15 minutes, we've all stayed away from spoilers as best we could. When we go into that movie, we're going to be able to experience one of the biggest things that is ever going to happen in nerddom, where we're going to get to sit down, watch something, not knowing what's going to happen at the end of it. And we're going to all sit there and go, wow, that was fucking something else. Whether it's good or whether it's bad.
break it down into so many different ways.
Hopefully it's good, though. Hopefully.
I already know.
I have so much faith.
However that movie ends, I know I'm going to fucking cry, because it's the end of an era.
Oh, definitely.
I'm going to fucking rip you apart if you cry at the end of that movie.
I'm going to fucking cry. I'll cry during the movie.
If we
Dude,
all
whatever.
Cry,
okay, so Logan...
Chris Evans did an interview saying that I cried 3 times within the first hour of that movie.
Well, he isn't a dude. He's a man, so...
Logan, I cried 3 times during that fucking movie.
Logan was amazing.
Logan was a hard watch.
So I think that this movie... I agree with Jake, and I don't want to say it because last time we said this, we got The Last Jedi. I feel like there's no way that this can let us down, so hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah.
But even if it does, Infinity War did not let me down. Infinity War...
We'll always have that.
When I left Infinity War, I was like, this might be the greatest feeling of... I literally felt completed after I watched it. It was like, if I don't get to see Endgame, which hopefully I do 3 days away, but if I don't, I'll feel like there was a completion with Infinity War.
Yeah.
And hopefully if I die before I get to see it, God forbid, they'll let me screen it in heaven because I did buy a ticket.
Yeah.
So I hope so. Phase 4, what do we think we're going to see?
I'd like to see Spider-Man take the helm as one of the core members.
Maybe.
Avengers.
Because I think the Avengers are going to change. Obviously, we're getting Captain Marvel. We talked about that earlier. 9 films. I remember reading years ago about Chris Evans being signed for 6 to 9 Captain America movies. I was like, how the fuck is that going to work out? That's really going to overplay the character.
You got to think about Homecoming. They fucking worked him in also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fact that they put him in little things, like even Thor: The Dark World. He was in Homecoming. He has had small little cameos in these movies.
So that might be part of his picture deal.
But that's the other thing is I guess it will work, but I would like to see them more lean towards Black Panther. And I would like you said, Spider-Man, but that's up in limbo because of Sony and that whole situation. We don't know what's going to happen.
Now that Venom is a somewhat success.
And they're making Morbius right now, the Vampire movie, and Black Cat movie, I think, too.
So
we'll see if Sony decides to pull him back, or maybe it'll be a Fox situation.
Maybe Sony should just fucking go, hey, we had really good success with us lending you Spider-Man. Why not just do a joint deal? That way, if you get Morbius, you can already do fucking the Night Stalkers. which would be Blade and Hannibal fucking King,
Well,
and
they were
fucking
hoping-
Morbius,
They
the
were
fucking
hoping
vampire hunters.
that they would bring the Venom movie
Damn, so
into
that
the...
would like bring what Ryan Reynolds to Hannibal King.
yeah.
Well, they were hoping that they would bring more or Venom into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which they didn't. There's a chance, though, that Sony, which has been faltering for a good 15 years,
We'll put Spider-Man into the
could
Venom.
pull a Fox and decide they want to sell themselves to Disney. And keep
Or
in
just
mind,
sell their rights to their characters
possibly
to Disney.
And Disney bought Fox for their Disney Plus app. That's why they bought that whole fucking catalog full of movies, because they wanted that for the Disney app.
Yeah.
Disney is the only company that has the money to be able to do something like that. And trust me, it will not cost as much as Fox cost. Their $63 billion purchase. Sony has been faltering as a company for years, so it could possibly happen.
Right.
But there is no reason for them not to agree to, based upon the $850 million that Sony made with Spider-Man Homecoming, that they wouldn't continue that. Except for the fact that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse got nominated and won Best Animated Picture. So
Right.
Rightly so.
We'll see.
Okay, but on the grand scheme of things, that is a very small accolade compared to the grand scheme of...
Let's nerd out real quick. If, not based upon the information we had, Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6, if we could choose what happens, what would you guys want to happen in those phases? No restraints. No restraints. What do you want to see?
Introduction of X-Men, introduction of Fantastic Four, obviously, which I think, I forgot to say, I really do think that is going to happen in Phase 4, now that they own Fox. Another Ghost Rider. A better version of Punisher. We were talking about this earlier. I want to see Quentin Tarantino do a fucking Marvel movie in general.
Amazing.
Or even like selling him Quentin Tarantino, if he directed a Joker movie, like that would be fucking insane.
The only
Just
comment I
imagine
think
the
he ever
dialogue.
made on it was he would like to do a Fantastic Four based in the 60s or 70s.
That would be amazing.
Which I said over and over again they need to do.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's the only way that you
comic
should do it.
belongs in the 60s or 70s with that classic era suits.
Have that
spandex,
feel,
all
that
shit.
fucking
have
old
that.
school but futuristic feel.
And like you said, we've said a million times, The Incredibles is the best version of the Fantastic Four you'll ever get. But at the same time, you do that. You do the space age. You do the actual going to space and getting hit by cosmic
So like
rays.
Venture Brothers shit then.
Or and you combine in the Ant-Man stuff.
Well,
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just saying, that's the way to do the Fantastic Four. And then, if you want to modernize it, pull a Captain America and put them in a situation where they fall into a time loop, time vortex, whatever, and bring them to the modern age.
I want to see a Moon Knight movie.
Which is coming. I think
Which would be crazy. They've talked about that.
Yeah.
Javi's right. They have definitely talked about that.
Make it a hard R.
Which is a possibility based upon the fact that they got Deadpool now.
Yeah.
They could definitely do that. Also, I want to see Galactus. I want to see Galactus.
The real Galactus.
I think,
Not a fucking cloud.
Not a cloud. I think the way you buy this back is you do the Skrull invasion for the first phase. You come out and you build toward Galactus. And you make that, because what's the bigger
But they already
threat than
fucked up
destroying...
the scrolls, man.
But they could buy it back. We talked about that
The
before.
only way, maybe if Super Skrull came back, but you would still have to have the Fantastic Four to do that.
20 years is a big gap in between where the Skrull could be like,
So,
oh,
like,
I don't...
the-
I just want to find a planet.
You know what about like a Skrull invasion if they showed that like they were severely persecuted against just for the fact that they were Skrulls?
And it could definitely happen. But then you build towards that.
Which is what they were getting at in Captain Marvel, but they were still good guys.
But they just wanted a place to live. But then Jaded, the characters change, and then they go, okay, we're going to
I get it. Okay.
But you build towards that. But what's the bigger threat than taking out half the universe? Taking out the entire universe.
Eating
Galactus.
universes.
Fucking Planet Eater, man. You bring fucking human-made Omnicron, or whatever the guy's name was from Transformers, and you bring that as the threat. The person who just wants to eat the planets, that's the way you go.
Get a really good Silver Surfer also.
Fuck
Honestly, I liked Lawrence Fishburne.
He was good.
Yeah.
And it was the guy who played Abe Sapien in the suit who played that.
Doug Jones?
Doug
Yeah, Doug
Jones.
Jones.
Yep.
But that Silver Surfer was good, but at the same time, you could make that better.
It looked alright, but yeah, I want to see a good Norn ride.
And they're bringing back James Gunn, and he was supposed to be the harbinger of the fucking Marvel Cinematic Galaxy.
Yes.
That's what they were looking at. And so that's what we need to see. The Galaxy stuff works, especially with the sense of futuristic.
if you have somebody like him at the helm of it.
Or Taika Waititi. He worked it out too.
Exactly, but whoever did Captain Marvel didn't do it so fucking hot.
Man. Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do the Galaxy, you're gonna have to You're gonna have to have a director that's fucking out there and that knows what the fuck they're doing. That's fucking different.
Right.
You know, and Taika Waititi and fucking Gunn are fucking perfect examples of that. They don't fall into the normal, like, this. No, they'll bring some interesting shit and make sure their movies stand out.
So where do we go from there? I think we go to...
I'm not excited for Phase 4 because I'm super...
4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm not excited for either of it. I think
another 10
I
years.
think Marvel's about to hit a 10-year slump.
You think so?
Yep.
I kind of agree with Javi.
Another 10-year slump, like they.
No, I think they started out strong.
I think Phase 4 is going to fail.
They're going to.
Yeah, you can only be at the top for so long,
Right.
And once you start to, everybody start to see the kinks in the armor, so to speak, now, and
the breeze in the armor. That's what you see.
Literally, the Brie.
The Brie in the armor.
Did you say the Brie in the armor? Yeah, right. The Brie Larson in the armor. But other than that, is there anything else you guys want to add before we go see Endgame? Is there anything you want to say about your expectations about this movie?
I was telling Jake in the truck. I want to see all the characters on screen for at least more than an hour. Like, I want them to come back. I don't want to have like half hour, 20 minutes of just like seeing everybody come back. I want to actually enjoy it.
I have a feeling that the movie's 3 hours long. The last hour alone has to be a gigantic fucking battle.
But between who?
But I'm just saying, I think everybody's going to be out there. Like, this is the full encompassing moment of the entire fucking first 10 years of the Marvel Company. The first 3 phases. Like, this is the end of an era, like we talked about. They're putting all their chips on the table. Every fucking buddy who was snapped away and whatever else, they're all going to be fighting on the fucking screen. Like, for a good fucking hour.
You just saying that right now makes me so excited.
Like, but I'm just saying, like, this has to fucking happen, though, right? Like, you look at the end of Civil War, look, even at the end of fucking Batman vs. Superman, that whole third act, it was nonstop fucking fighting. It was trying to, like, just everything. What you've been working for. But this is the end game. All your fucking cards are
all
down.
Your chess pieces are in place.
You fucking have to just fucking let it fucking rain.
Then who are they going to fight? Are they going to be fighting villains from other MCU movies?
Maybe.
That's the hard fucking part. But maybe they're fighting the same fucking...
Maybe he resurrects them. Maybe he brings back the villains from the previous movies. Maybe they have a moment. Or maybe it is... And they built this up in Infinity War. He is that fucking strong.
Powerful. He can fight them all off.
Dude, there's like 10 people who are fighting him on
the Infinity Gauntlet comic book. Mm-hmm. Like, he fucking takes on every single one of them.
Everybody.
Like, Wolverine. Like, I mean, every comic book character. Okay, not even the ones that aren't even in there.
If he was that fucking strong, why did they put that fucking Thor almost soloed him at the end of it?
Because you have to have the little bit of a break before the big fucking thing.
Bro.
So that's what's going on.
Building suspense.
You know what? We're going to find out in 3 days what happens. And we're fucking pumped.
Dude, now you actually got me fucking wanting to see it. I can't wait for these 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
72
I was doing
hours.
fine all the way up until this
72 hours until
right
you
here.
fucking know what happens.
I was doing okay. I was like, I can wait.
It's going to be amazing.
You fucking started talking about it.
saying,
God
dude.
damn it, I want to see this so
Dude,
bad.
the second we sit down and we get our fucking pitcher of beer, are we drinking?
Oh, yeah.
All right, better be.
Well,
okay.
I don't want to drink too much because I want to fucking...
Be into it. Or else we're going to be like, listen here.
Yeah, Thanos is right.
When we sit down and we get our fucking seat and that fucking Marvel logo comes up. And
that theory's going to go ape
We know
shit.
that the last 10 years of our life have been building towards this moment of nerddom, of
and
geekdom.
they're going to have the ashes snap away. It's going to do the fucking slow.
Yeah. And we sit down for that 3 hours and 2 minutes worth of nerdy fucking goodness. We will know. So we will talk to you after that, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to say this one more time.
It's going to start off dark as fuck also. All right, now.
I just want to say this. I saw this meme today, and for some reason I was at work and I saw it. It kind of made me choke up. And it's saying just like, this is the Endgame for just all of nerddom. We got Endgame. We have pretty much 10 years of MCU movies coming to a close. Game of Thrones last season. And now we got the last Star Wars movie ever.
2019.
Finishing this year.
2019 is the year of the end of geekdom.
After 42 years, the final
legend killer.
Star.
This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, we will talk to you after we come back after the end game. This has been Duck. I'm here with
Jake.
And
I'm Javi.
And we will see you on the other side. Thank you so much for listening. And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcast here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go ahead and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.